failing a lot is actually a good success story. Well, it sounds a bit cheesy, but actually it's true. Why? Because if you fail a lot, you have a lot of stories to tell. You're probably going to meet the parts about your depression or feeling down, or even not, because that's sometimes even better. But you will have a story to tell. If you don't fail, if you don't succeed, and if you don't fail, you have no story to tell. So the best stories, as we all know from the movies, is about a hero. So are we a hero? We are a hero because we are on a journey. We want something. We aspire something. Just a fancy way of saying we wish for something. And what do we want? A transformation of sorts. We want to be rich. We want to be loved. We want to be famous. We want to have it all. So we want a transformation. That's easy enough. Just a magic wand will do it. Well, it's not that easy, of course. There needs to be an obstacle. Our obstacle, of course, the failure, or the failures, or the circumstances of failure, of the failing itself, the failing word, everything going apart, So now we have our hero, we have the obstacle, we have the goal. We need the transformation, the action. Talking about this, we need to change something. Right now, we're standing still. We're feeling miserable. We are seeing failure all around. We want to go to the happy place. We want to be rich, famous, and loved. And we need to do something because right now we're not there. So we need a transformation. We need the action. So how do we get to that transformation? Of course, in the movies, it's a bit more plain, a bit more, straightforward, or even not. Crime series, it's not. Perhaps, when they move from place A to B to C, back to B, back to C, back to A, it's the same in real life. We start and do something and we try something else and we move backwards and take this part of this and this part of it, and we try again and again with different parts and again with the same parts, and we repeat the experiment again because perhaps we missed something, and we mix it up again and so on, and we do the power of 10 repetitions with the same results, and we do power of 10 with the different results, different factors, and then we kind of, found the treasure behind the dragon. We found the successful combination of the factors we need to do. So, of course, once you succeed, you can, enlighten your story. You can perhaps spuff it up a bit. You can put some tweaks on it, put some roses on it, put some dragons in it. But the fact is, for the structure, for the baseline, you have to have your own story, your own words. How did you feel when you wanted that? How did you feel when you were failing? How miserable you were? How down you were, how you're feeling about quitting, but you hated yourself too much and you wanted to persevere and you wanted the goal more than to give up. And how you wanted to give up, but you didn't want to give the pleasure to your enemies and your obstacle, and you just move forward out of stubbornness, and how you risked it all in order to gain it. Of course, that's a great story. But still, like I said, failing makes a great story, because there's this success at the end, the goal behind the dragon. And the failure, that transformation, is what keeps people at bay, what keeps people interested, what keeps storytelling interesting. Like, the sole act of storytelling is about somebody who's struggling, somebody who's failing. And we've been telling these stories for as long as society lives, and that's for a long time. So failure stories are great. Some even say you should document your failure stories a lot, so you have a lot of materials. Like, I personally don't like to record myself when I'm failing, when I'm feeling miserable. But I see the value of it. I see the value of it. I will start doing it, but for now I don't. I want to be alone when I'm miserable and hate my failures, and I hate myself for failing. But still, I move forward, I transform, I move towards my goal. So, do I have a story to tell? Of course I do. That's why I'm telling you my story. How I failed and then succeeded. And then I tried something else and failed again. Because that's life. But like I said, failure and success makes a great story because it keeps the reader, the listener involved. It evokes so much emotion, because we as people kind of feel how you felt, how I felt during that miserable times when you were in the dark, muddy place, when you didn't feel like breathing the hot, steamy air in the dragon's lair, where you said, I'm gonna die anyway, so I'm gonna die trying. And you succeeded. And you went and you transformed as a hero. So success stories are actually stories about failures, and you should note them down because they are great stories.